Monica, could you give us a little idea of what you're seeing in terms of investment in two-tier cities, for example, at the moment?
In terms of investment market, we've seen a tremendous interest in both primary assets and secondary type assets, but specifically looking at secondary tier cities where we have certainly experienced a lot of development in shopping centres, which are obviously much smaller, geared at local markets, but investors are primarily looking for the convenience type as well as smaller shopping centres in secondary tier cities in order to actually put together portfolios, or there are also some investors with appetite for portfolios across Poland. So that's really the trend that we've been observing for a while. But of course, not many portfolios are coming onto the market, and sort of putting together a bigger portfolio is a challenge, but not mission impossible.
Okay. And can you tell us what type of assets that you are currently seeing, an interest in particular assets?
I think two sort of main areas of interest. Prime assets will always be of interest, and of course they are bonds, basically, where investors will be very keen to purchase in Poland, but they clearly don't come to the market very often. Hence, investors are certainly looking for something which is maybe second best at present. But equally, there are a lot of interested parties in buying distressed assets or distressed retail portfolios that we have certainly seen, maybe not to a degree that we perhaps are seeing in Western Europe, for example, but to a certain degree we are observing a huge amount of interest, specifically in assets which offer opportunities by way of modernizing, say, reshaping and extending, doing all kinds of asset perhaps exercises in order to achieve a much better value when originally acquired. That's the main theme that we are observing in the market.
Agnieszka, could you share with us some of your top three trends that might be shaping the future of retail in Poland?
Yes, after the 20 years of rapid development, the retail market in Poland starts to be mature. We have more than 11 million square meters of retail space, and half of the space was delivered before 2005, which means more than 10 years ago. What does it mean? That we have half of very old retail space that need to be renovated. So this modernization trend starts to be very important for us, especially this kind of assets are very good located in the biggest town and in the centers of those towns. Because of the shopping habit has totally changed the last few years. We have a decreasing role of hypermarkets, for example, and we should remember that the space of the hypermarkets in this kind of shopping centers could be even of 20,000 square meters. So this is a huge challenge for the investors, but also the very big opportunity for them to develop the totally new formats. And diversification of the retail formats, it's another important trend in Poland. Several changes are needed. One of these changes is the specialization of the shopping centers. Another important trend is the geographical diversification. It means that 70% of the retail space under construction in Poland is located in the relatively small towns with less than 100,000 inhabitants.
And And I think we spoke earlier about regeneration of old space. Is this a big trend that you're seeing?
It should be, because the majority of this old retail spaces, the shopping center are the first and the second generations encouraged by the hypermarkets. And only 70,000 square meters are renovated every year, so the potential of it is quite important.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Have a wonderful market.
Thank you likewise.